on what is now the final day of day number 6 here of the group stages. So after today, we will know how things ultimately all play out going into the next stage of the event, both the bracket stage and, of course, even the relegation matches. There's definitely a lot on the line here for today, with that said. So excited to be here. We definitely got some good matchups for you today. As you can see on your screen right here, we're kicking it off with the one in front of us here. Arguably the best of them all. Definitely should be a really good one here. Fresh versus X-Sync going to be coming at you. That will be followed by Fresh versus Sana Esports. And then the final series, we'll probably, not 100% sure yet, but we'll cover one of those two series, depending on situations and what is on the line. Obviously, Complexity versus Fresh and Rexstars Reborn versus Revolution, two definitely good matchups there to finish it off. So today, though, definitely excited to be here. The group standings, as you can see, it's all kind of shaping up. We know that the 4 teams are going to be in the brackets. It's just a matter of where they're going to be in the brackets. Everything is still up for grabs as far as first place through 4th place. It's going to be determined after today how that all plays out. But again, nothing is certain with how things have played out so far. So that's all of that. With that said, again, excited to be here. But of course, I am joined by a co-caster today, and actually somebody new co-casting here today. Joining myself, I'm going to be joined by Masera here, formerly of Reason Gaming. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's a Sunday. We got some good hunt ahead of us. I'm not gonna lie. I got the NFL on television to the side of me, so maybe some glancing. But I'm of course gonna put my focus here on Heroes of New Earth. I'm really excited for this day and again, seeing how it finishes up. But we got a good matchup here: X-Sync versus Fresh to kick it off, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. Gonna see how it turns out. Obviously, Insane isn't here, so I'm gonna be curious how they're gonna draft and also in gameplay.
Yeah.
Without their leader Insane playing.
That's a good point. That's to point stress that even. You see Fresh, they are all 5. They are here to go. X-Sync, again, this seems like this has been a little bit of a trend lately. We know that for a fact as a team they're not necessarily practicing at all anymore. They have announced that officially lately. They're just really showing up and playing in these tournament matches. So they have had a couple of subs used lately, and Toltec has actually been that sub. For the most part for them. But yeah, Insania not being here, so not only missing a support player, but missing their usual drafter. So Kazu's stepping in that role here. So let's start talking about the draft and seeing what we're dealing with. We got the initial bands. It was Clanks, Tremble, Swiftblade, and Warbeast. We had the picks to follow: Magnus and Midas, Ophelia into that Parasite. And then, of course, the Pebbles coming out into more. Mickey Pebbles, though, we've been seeing that a lot lately. So what do you think of the draft here, though, Miss Sarah?
I like Legions more, I have to say. It's like pub train-ish kind of lineup, and we all know that Sync loves to group up to S5 and go train choo-choo tower. So obviously they have a lot of counter push and map control over at Hellborn, though. So they have good counter picks, but I definitely like Legions draft more.
Ophelia and Pebbles seems to be a combination that Sync especially loves to run,
Yeah.
and if they get their hands on it. So the fact that neither one of them, I mean, Ophelia would be the one that you probably would ban of those two, but yeah,
Definitely.
Tremble and Warbeast ban instead. So you get Ophelia.
The thing with Ophelia is that it open up like the early game. It's so you can't win early game against Ophelia unless you have the correct heroes to deal with her, and it's even with the, like good burst heroes, it's so hard for it to happen. And now they pick up a Rhapsody, so it's gonna be even harder.
Yeah, I'm surprised Rhapsody wasn't banned, to be honest, because again, she's one that really synergizes so well with that Ophelia, especially. And what did they ban instead? Silhouette and Mage ban a Wild Soul, so very carry heavy. They insisted on going instead of that support option. Do you agree with that, or any question on that?
I think he banned those kind of heroes like Silhouette Mageman because he's afraid of, the split pushing coming out from Kiesu. He played a lot of Silhouette and he also played Magebane, I think. No, Dark Lady, and split pushed like all game long. So Sync is really good at that. So I guess he banned Silhouette and other carries due to that reason.
Yeah, those all 3 of those have that potential. Magebane, though, is really... When was the last time we saw Magebane, man? That's not a hero we see at all. So that's... I don't know. Maybe Kazu's been playing it? I'm not sure.
I think he banned it because they wanted to pick up Doctor, but as you see, Kiesu banned Doctor afterwards, so he probably figured him out.
Fair enough. That's so good reaction. Some mind games coming out right there, as usual in the draft, perhaps. So they go with the Rhapsody. Now there's a Moraxis coming out, so always a sound and solid pick. This is a hero that's really been strong on the competitive scene lately here. Okay, you see Quincy pointing. Yeah, Quincy's back, by the way. It's been a little bit since we've had him here on the Podcast, so it's always good to have Quincy back here, pointing out that Keizu did indeed play Magebane, actually against BMG earlier in the cycle. So I guess there has been at least recent history with him playing it. But Moraxis, good pick, you think?
Yeah. I don't really see the reason behind the pick, honestly, but it's not a bad pick, obviously, but I don't know. I can't really see the idea behind the pick, but maybe I've missed something.
All right. I mean, you think, what did Sync ban themselves? The Losan, Behemoth, and Doctor. Prisoner is something that we have seen a bit lately, and perhaps in the Pebbles matchup could be considered pretty good, but yeah, choosing to go the Moraxis instead right here. So,
it's probably the solo mid there as well, unless they're gonna duel in mid. But it's so hard to duel in mid, especially against the Pebbles, Magmus, and Ophelia ganking. So my advice would be to dodge mid lane, but then obviously Pebbles gonna get a fast PK. But they actually picked the Ravener here.
Wow, that doesn't seem like a Sync carry. They don't.
Never seen them play Ravener.
Yeah. Again, Keizu drafting, so it is a little bit different as far as if Insanio was here, very likely may not be the same lineup, but he's not here, so Keizu has perhaps a different mindset, and there you go, Quincy confirming they've actually never played Ravener on record. So yeah, that just does not feel like their kind of carry. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like he's pretty good for exactly. He's good for the early game, so it makes sense, right?
It really does. Predator, okay, but I'm going to talk about Ravener first. They picked him because, Sibbe is the guy who makes all the plays early game in Mint, and he's going to play the Suicide Midas, I think. And Raven, obviously, if he Qs, what's it called? Lightning Ball, the Midas, and then he leaps away, and then he can Q afterwards, and he's 200% dead. And they have slapped in the jungle, so he's not going to be able to lane there at all.
Okay.
Sibbe, that is. And also, Ophelia is one of the junglers who he farms for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then he just leaves the jungle. He goes and gank and take towers, so then Ravener can have the jungle for himself. So, yeah, I think Ravener was a really good picker if they manage to give him the space that he needs to snowball.
All right, so now to that Predator, though. Again, that's one that's actually just different in general. Not a hero we see often, but some reaction here going on? What do you think?
The Stone Knight is really, really good this game, of course, but it's not going to do anything against the Ravener ultimate, I don't think. No, it's true damage, so no superior magic, so it's not going to do anything against the Ravener, but it's going to keep him from not dying, obviously. With the extra shunker from his Stone Knight.
That's what I was I had to double check on myself, because it's like they seem like they picked it up fairly quickly after the Ravener pickups. They're almost like, okay, well, was it because of that? But no, you're right. I mean, it being the superior magic, it's the same thing as if somebody had a shrunken head. It obviously goes right through it. So, and the armor, also not necessarily going to benefit either. So it really is a funky pick against the Ravener for that reason, but.
Pred is one of those carries though who can he can right click in team fights. You see a Pred, he pops his Eldritch Parasite and then you just go ham. He doesn't really change target and stuff like that. So I guess that's the idea behind him. They're just gonna have a Predator who tanks up and frontline team fight right click Ravener. I can imagine.
Very, very possible. So we'll see how they run it here, and of course, Probusk playing it. They're carry player here on this team, and Zibby getting his hands on that Midas, a hero that he plays very well and quite often. And Haxer, and he's definitely stepped up in that middle role earlier in the week. When we were watching or casting fresh a bit, and again, they've had some very good success so far here in this cycle after a. Disappointing cycle number 1, to say the least. They did finish in that 5th, 6th place spot. Overall, they looked a little off. So here they are, though. They're already 3-1-0 with 10 points, guaranteeing top 4 And they still have 3 more matches to play throughout today, actually. They play 3 matches in total, as we saw in the schedule. So, again, they're looking much better. We'll see how that continues, though. But at least it has to be nice knowing at the very least they are top 4 and moving on to the brackets. But, of course, want to get that higher seed and set themselves up in a better position is very safe to say. So,
I didn't know that they were top 4 already.
yeah.
They played really poorly last cycle, not gonna lie.
They absolutely did, yeah.
They stepped up, so props to them.
Yeah. Yeah, BMG yesterday, actually, with their performance, they, unfortunately, that's why the top 4's figured out, because they ended up not doing too well in the end, so that's how it got settled. Anyways. So you were saying about perhaps the lanes here? Or?
No, I was just gonna say that Mint, they're like a team who has a lot of potential, but it feels like everything needs to click. I tried out for them before I joined the Reason, and it's a lot of emotional players and things that need to go as planned for them to like play good. But when that happened, they're a really strong team in my opinion.
Yeah. I did hear, we talked a little bit about on the podcast when going into the cycle that apparently, I don't know personal information myself, but we're getting a little bit of insight from a couple of players in the scene, and that this cycle was going to determine what Fresh was going to be like moving forward. I guess there might be some possible roster changes, depending how they finish. I don't know. But for now, obviously, it is the same 5. And, again, of course, they have a solid start so far, at least. So, again, we'll see how that continues and how it eventually finishes here. But, all right, so the lanes, though, coming about. And what do we got here? Nothing too out of the ordinary, it looks like. I mean, are you noticing anything, or pretty standard, do you think?
I don't know. I'm not sure where Mori is going to lane here. I would like to see him play mid. Yeah, mid. I think Mori should be mid, but it looks like he's moving over top lane. I'm not sure why. Magnus can steam buff his Shard of Harkon and just get free experience. But this bottom lane, though, it's going to be like Sibby is not going to be able to lane her for in a minute or so.
Yeah. He's already
That's going to be really bad.
Heavily boxed out right here by Rhapsody. See the creep wave coming to save him a little bit, but you can tell definitely the pressure's on. He only has 2 more trees left before he's going to have to be playing a lot more defensively. And, of course, you do have to worry about Zlapt in the jungle off to the side and the presence. I mean, there's no vision right now for Zibby down here, so he has to be careful.
Yep. He still has a ward, though. He's not going to place it yet. And Taltic has a red ward, so I'm not sure if he's going to place it at all.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, puts it on the ground right there, so eventually is the plan. Oh, look at that. The water.
He dropped it.
He faked it is what he did. He knew that they were paying attention to that, and he dropped it on the ground thinking that he placed it, and so he got the Word of Rev to be used. Now we'll see if he actually now places it in a different spot from the Word of Revelation, but as I say that, he's in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to be fine there.
That was really good from Sibero. He's going to get free vision now of Ophelia if he managed to place it out of the reward, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely very smart heads-up play right there. Wow, Zlapt has not lost a game on Ophelia since Han Tour Season 3 Cycle 4.
Oh, mid lane.
41-0. Holy crap. Middle lane, more access. He's being caught up. Speaking of Zlapt right here. Nice stomp, though. That radius, it happened to hit all 3. It's still not enough, however. Zlapt comes through with the kill, using the Ophelia's Judgment in the end to secure it. But Stomp almost saved the day, but not enough with the haste rune.
Nope. They need some kind of vision for this bottom rune. Midas has to place that ward somewhere, but he can't even go and pick up his ward now because he's gonna die if he goes for it. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, he's definitely seems like it's in a. I mean, I wonder if the team's really getting frustrated at that too, because no vision at all down here, and obviously now a gank coming out of Ophelia as a result of that too. That's got to be a little frustrating, especially if your hacks are in here.
Yeah, he's probably telling Sibber right now, go get the ward and place it, but he dropped it like down there. He's gonna die if he goes for it, so it's not gonna happen.
So, how about that stat though? I mean, I mean, I knew Zlapt was obviously a very good Ophelia player and jungler, and we know that it's a good success. But man, 41 wins in a row with Ophelia. Like, how do teams not ban Ophelia against X-Sync. Like, it's...
I thought everyone banned Ophelia against Sync, but apparently not. If I was drafting, I would definitely ban Ophelia. Not only because Slab plays it good, but because the hero is so... Yeah, the hero is really sick.
Okay, 41-2. Okay, so I misread it right there. I thought it meant actually 41 wins in a row. I mean, still 41-2 is obviously, yeah, it's still very ban-worthy, you could say. So, anywho, he happens to get the Bloodlust here once again. So again, a good start there. You do see that Zibe. Oh, look at that! So he finally gets the Ward of Sight down and an immediate Rev Ward. Man, they are on top of it.
Wow.
Sync. That's got to be a brutal feeling, man. Meanwhile, middle lane, more Axis and Parasite going for the kill on the Pebbles right here. You see Moira coming in with the illusion, forcing Mickey to go an odd path, and actually, though, it's not going to matter. I mean, Midas even here, it's a 4-man gank ultimately on the Pebbles. I guess they got it, so that works.
Yeah. They need that kill. It's so crucial. They were losing like 3 lanes already before that kill. If you look at the GPM chart, Mickey was 380 GPM, Kiesu is free from bottom, Slapped is free from jungle, and Omi is getting a lot of experience top. So this game is going to come down to Iceland Gogo, I think, and Sibbe making the plays. And of course more illusion, but it's a bit hard to gank a Pebbles with the more illusion or alone. He can just shock it when he dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game is a lot on Iceland. Gogo shoulders.
Absolutely is. Now, with something we can't forget about at the same time is Probusk here. He's having a very good time, to say the least. Has a nice bottom tower push already. That was even without Ophelia. Ravener and Rhapsody, more than enough to get that tower kill. But you do see Probusk nearly, 385 gold print until he was top until that tower kill happened. Meanwhile, he's actually going on to Magnus right here. Out of mana for a Lava Surge. They must have picked up on that. He uses a Steam Bath right there, trying to destroy and get away, but it's not enough. So well played. Yeah, I am pretty sure they picked up on that because they were really committed there for a kill, and he wasn't able to Lava Surge.
Nope.
So what do you think about Parasite? Wow, I'm all over the place. Predator, a lot of P's this game. Predator and his success early on, I mean, is that going to be really dangerous for Sync, you think?
I think Predator is one of those carries where you really want to go early game team fight, but you don't want to go early game team fight versus an Ophelia or a Pebbles PK or a Magnus PK. So I don't know. It's a hard game. It's a hard game to play for a Predator, I'd say. But we'll see how they manage.
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna buy an Alchemist Bone.
He just did.
He just did. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
But obviously, if you buy an Alchemist Bones, you need like 5 minutes of freeform before it really pays off. So if Sync keeps up with this early pressure, it might like bite him in the ass. So to say.
Alchemist Bones on Predator, though, it seems like, again, he's one of these heroes where attack speed in general is very good because of that carnivorous ability. So I think there's the idea, the value there, where it is more than just simply of course, the fast farming tool of being able to use it and get that extra gold and experience from it. So that's the good news, at least, I guess. But yeah, it is at the same time, it's definitely considered to be a greedy item, and we'll see if X-Sync is going to take advantage of that. But, I mean, if you figure to take advantage of that, though, they're going to need Pebbles to get the portal key. And right now, well, Mickey is doing pretty good. 400 gold per minute as looking at it here. He did crash, though, and he's actually all the way back at base, unfortunately. But he'll probably buy a TP here. Come back to the middle. So
if he had Steam Boots instead of the Alchemist Bones, he survives the Pebbles combo plus a Magma Stun. But as you said, he needs a PK for that to happen, or Invisible Rune or Haste.
Yeah.
So, yep. I think this Alchemist Bone is going to pay off in the long run.
So, Keizo and Ravener on the other side of the spectrum. Of course, speaking of a carry hero, he's obviously doing very good as well, 390 gold per minute. He went to Steam Boots, has the Ring of the Teacher. It seems like the traditional build on Ravener is that Abyssal Skull at least, and then maybe even the Thunderclaw. Do you think he needs to get that portal key as soon as possible as well, or are you fine with seeing the Thunderclaw follow up?
I think he can buy a Thunderclaw because the way they're going to teamfight is that Hellborn is probably going to get the initiation every teamfight because Legion is the one who's pushing. So he could just go for pure damage, or he could go for a PK. But if you buy a PK, you want to have Ravener in the jungle, you want 4 people top lane or mid lane, and then he used TPs, PKs to join the team fight. But if they want to push there, he's not going to buy a PK at all.
Yeah. Speaking of push, here they are, bottom lane. I mean, again, this is a Just Ophelia and Rhapsody alone is always so dangerous to go up against, especially early on in the game for push. But here we go with Parasite running in. Nice job with the staccato stunts, though. Teletic on top of that. However, he gets the net off still onto Ophelia, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be left behind to be killed. Yeah, as actually the hasted Moraxis in the flank as well. He wants more damage. He's going to catch Ravender right here. That's going to set up a kill on him as well. It's 2 kills. Is it going to be 3? It looks like it. Rhapsody also going to fall. So what seemed to be a tower push coming out for X-Sync, they not only defend, but they get 3 kills, does Fresh right here. That was very well played.
Yeah, that was insanely good. The thing with when you play against push lineup, I always try to get my team to do like, we either defend first tower or we don't defend at all. The thing with a lot of teams, they give up like 1 or 2 towers and then they fight at the 3rd tower. But then you're gonna have so much like gold advantage, and those early on items are like really crucial. So Mint were like, okay, they're pushing bottom, let's be ready for this. And it's not really hard to read Ophelia pushes early on into the game, so definitely well played for Mint.
Quincy was pointing out right there, I mean, we're stressing Ophelia and Slap's success there with the hero, and, you know, it was something like 37 wins in a row, 41-2 or whatever, but apparently Pro Busk on the other side is 3-0 with Predator, so also pretty good, but a lot less games right there. Middle lane in the meantime, they're jump from Pebbles right there to instantly kill Moira, and he's going to go for more. He has the backup coming. Magnus stuns in. Moraxis is caught, has that Matrax, but still not enough to survive in the end. Just too much pressure. 4 heroes there of X-Sync. The only one not was Ravender, who was pushing out the bottom lane still. So they get a little bit of revenge right there, safe to say. 2 kills happening, and now middle tower push coming out from them on top of it here. So good fight for X-Sync in response.
Yep, and Mickey's 470 GPM, so...
Wow.
But Midas is going in mid, though.
Oh, wow, what is Zibit doing here? He gets caught out pushing in. He's going to go down, actually. Rhapsody, the Ophelia's touch to barely save her and keep her alive. The Illusion going to be killed right away as a result, too. Beautiful save from Ophelia right there. So, yeah, not sure. I didn't catch that initially, but Zibit kind of...
He leapt in and tried to combo the Rhapsody, but he had two heroes next to him, so they just turned at him. I don't know what that was about. That was probably a panic call from someone.
You say panic or panic call?
Panic call.
Panic call. Okay.
Panic.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. All right, anyways. But, yeah, I mean, they're still pushing the middle lane right here. And actually, the Hellborn team, though, the Eruption. Oh, he chucked him too early, though. It was a good idea. It might still work out somewhat as down goes Parasite right off the bat. But here's Predator, and you can feel his presence right now. Ravender goes down. Pebbles, he's in trouble. Being ported back. Will it be in time? It looks like it may. Oh, it will not. He goes down in the end. That had to be so close. But it takes, 5 seconds even still at this point. So, yeah, not able to get ported back in time. And Predator porting in, definitely feel his presence. And all of a sudden, he's nearly 500 GPM now. We got a back-and-forth brawl right here in Game 1.
Game of Throws. Yep. Yeah, Mint had the game bottom lane when they won that team fight, and then Sync got it back because they got like 3 pickoffs mid lane, and then they threw it again. I think they're stressing their push a bit too much. I think they want to wait for the Astrolabe from Ophelia before they go for these kind of tower pushes. Mm-hmm. They don't have to force anything. If they get a peeky on Magnus and Pebbles, Hellborn is going to be too afraid of farming, so they're going to create so much space for Ravener to snowball, but they're forcing a bit too much, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of Astrolabe, it's interesting you bring that up because Ophelia doesn't have it, but look who has it on the Hellborn side. Parasite.
Parasites.
Going at first item even. You like it?
I have played a lot of Parasite, but mostly in Team M, and when I played like jungler for BMG a bit, and then I always bought the puzzle box because I think it's so like retardedly strong. You can use like solo 3 people in a team fight with early on puzzle box, but obviously Astrolabe is always good, but I prefer the puzzle box more, I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, part of me is like, I think the mentality is that obviously X-Sync, as they usually do, and especially with this lineup, there is a lot of grouping up and pushing earlier on, and if that's the case, having an Astrolabe seems like it is pretty good, but yeah, Puzzle Box is also hard to pass up. Now, we do see middle lane initiation on the Haxorn right there. Good job with the patience as well. And Pebbles does end up executing for the kill, but at what cost here? Predator running in, the Stone High goes up, and good luck dealing with that. I guess that's one way. A lot of heal support, including the Protective Melody, saves the day. But now those cooldowns are going to, well, be on cooldown. Pebbles at half life. He's staying alive, though, in the background. More access with the Matrix as Ravender jumps in, but Casey going a little too deep right there, and he goes down. This Stonehide is definitely doing work for Predator. He is being patient with it. He's going back down, knowing it's going to be wearing off. Nice kill on more access. Eruption in the background. He gets it off, but he could not really jump in right there, and actually did not have a stun up. In fact, he gets taken out as he was trying to go for a combo. Parasite in the meantime trying to survive. Chuck on him. It will kill him. We got mid wars, man. I mean, this is what this really is right now. Both teams insisting on being in this middle lane for this whole game, it feels like. Predator, he's trying to survive in the background. He has no Stone High because of lack of mana as Zibe went a little YOLO once again. And it's a double tap for Slap to finish it off, or might not be finished, actually. Predator, he may die still here, and very likely, actually. Can he hide in the tree somehow? Pops the Stone Hide. The armor is going to help. Oh, he manages to dodge a Stalagmites right there. That might have been the Stone Hide still, but anyways, he survives, and it's not over yet. Unbelievable. More of the Arcane Vortex Stomp going to be coming out as a result, too. That's a big double tap kill to finish it off. This is just crazy, man.
Holy shit. Yeah. I have to say, though, I don't want to flame my first day of casting, but that was so bad of Probos. Like, if he used right-click from the start in that team fight, they would have won that team fight, like 200%. He was, like, running around way too much, and also, strength, what's it called, strength? Can't pronounce that. Anyways, heroes with low mana needs,
Okay.
and he needs either a Blood Chalice or a mana battery. It's like 200 gold, and you can leap like several times in a team fight, and that was really painful to watch.
Yeah.
But they came out on top though, because Sync overextended a bit too much, so they're still in the lead in this game, which is really good.
Just never ended, man. That would had to be like a minute and a half
That was insane.
fight or so. Yeah, it just kept on going and going and going, and finally clean up from Fresh to finish it off. But yeah, both teams really insisting on being in this middle lane. You do have Pebbles with the portal key now, so obviously a big scary note there. But at the same time, Predator sure may not have the mana help necessarily, but he will have an Insanitarius very shortly, and of course a great item on him. And you mentioned the idea of something like an Elder Parasite too, and obviously why he can go it especially is because of that Stone Hide. How he really has the Shrunken Head effect already. And attack speed in general, very good on him too. So, would you say it's almost like core pickup to get an Elder Parasite on Predator?
I think it is, but I'm looking at Legion lineup here, and I'm thinking that he might actually need to buy a Shrunken Head because they're gonna have so much lockdown on him. So even though he has the Stone Head, he might need to buy Shrunken Head as well. So he obviously cannot buy a Elder Parasite and a Shrunken Head. So we'll just have to wait and see what he's gonna buy.
Yeah, that's always one of those debates too, where it's similar to Swiftblade. The idea of a Shrunken Head, it's like he already has an ability that makes him immune to all that, but is it still worth it kind of deal? Like, as you're getting at here, I mean, there is a lot of lockdown, so there is value there, but
Exactly.
we'll see.
But at the same time, Legion their team fight is like they jump with 3 heroes and they burst the target, and if that target survives, they lose the team fight kinda, and like the Shrunken Head is not gonna do anything for him then. So if he get bursted down, he's gonna the Shrunken Head is gonna be a really bad pick up, but the Elder Parasite is obviously good for that because you get the Beast Heart. So I think Elders could be a good pickup here.
All right, well, he did just finish the Insanitarius, so of course that's step 1 right there. We'll see what step 2 is concerning of for him. Portal key on Moraxis, that actually is coming up here. He's managed 330 gold per minute, Taz Haxerin, so he's already 3, 4, and 8 at only 16 minutes into the game just about, so obviously, again, a lot of action this game.
Yep. If you play mid against Sync, you're gonna have a lot of action happening. Like to focus that mid lane where Mickey is playing for good reasons.
Likes to be involved. Ophelia, just under 300 GPM, but she does have that Astrolabe now, which is the important thing. Has the triple minions, Vulture Lord, Skeleton King, Minotaur, and guess where they are? They're back in the middle lane, looking to maybe make a play here, but I don't know if Fresh is going to be involved. as they're not really hanging around. Obviously, the freshest tower here in the middle lane is taken out currently, so a little less reason to be there. A couple of Portuguese being purchased in the meantime. Moraxis gets his, but so does Ravener, so there we go with that question being answered. He decides to get it after the Abyssal Skull. No Thunderclaw.
That tells me that they want to go for pickoffs and not like push base. They want to pick off and farm kind of game. But I think Hellborn has the superior late game, so I don't know. I would be a bit worried here if I was Sync, because they kind of missed their timing with that PK on Pebbles.
Yeah, I mean, especially as great as a start he had. I mean, he's been over 400 gold per minute, I feel like, this whole game here. And he did get the portal key really early on, but because of just how heavily involved the action's been, and he has the 3 deaths already, I mean, still 4 kills and 4 assists is great, but yeah, it really feels like that impact hasn't snowballed because of just the constant back and forth fights here. So, as you're pointing out, yeah, missing out on the timing, a good way to put it. The Tablet of Command purchased by Zibby, by the way, so it seems like he doesn't like to get that portal key, at least initially, as he says here once again. So, you like the tablet choice over the portal key, though?
I don't know. Tablet is obviously a good item, but I think PK would be better here because he can like counter push PK backwards. If you counter push with a tablet, he's gonna get jumped. Because every time you push a tower against the counter pushes such as Midas, you're like, okay, he's gonna combo the wave and then we jump him, and he's not gonna have time to combo and peek out. So, and also PK is a lot better for split pushing than a tablet. The only thing with tablet is that he gets like more mobility and mana.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, does provide a little bit of those stats there, but definitely the give and takes coming out. Top rune, both teams want to go for it. Moraxis, he ends up getting it, but at what cost here? Oh my gosh, look at that tablet coming into play, kind of. He's on the ledge. He is going to be fine as he pops the Invisor, and they catch Ophelia in the background. Mickey, he's nearby, but he's just not going to risk it. Would have been too costly right there with more support coming. So Ophelia ends up dying, and the Invisor taken by Haxran. Good quick fingers on him to steal that rune.
Mint is playing really good. They're really addressing the Sync. What should I say? Sync loves to go for runes like throughout the entire game, and they are like always on top of runes with like 3 to 4 heroes. So, yep, they're coming out on top.
Yeah. And Predator most certainly is a hero that you have to respect as the game goes on. I mean, you talk about hard carries. He has to be up there. The Carnivorous, especially his ultimate of the Terror, it'll continue to kick in throughout the game. And it looks like, by the way, you brought up the whole discussion of does he go Shrunken Head or not. I mean, it's not guaranteed with the Mighty Blade, but it probably is. I guess Icebrand would be the other option, and I don't know if he's going to be getting that here. So,
I think Brutalizer.
Oh, that too. Yeah. That is a good point. Okay, well, could you see Brutalizer here before Shrunken even, or?
Yeah, I think it's a Brutalizer. I don't know, it feels like a Brutalizer.
Okay.
Shrunken would be a bit weird because they don't want to fight like right now. They want a Shrunken Head on... I don't know if Midas going to buy one, but they definitely want Shrunken Head on Meraxis before they start taking team fights.
Yeah, there you go. You're correct on that one. He buys the Brutalizer, and that's coming out here, so some nice assisted damage now that he's going to benefit from. Of course, the one downside, if any, is for the Predator is that he's all about single target, of course, but yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing. He'll kill that single target pretty quickly, ideally. Moraxis, in the meantime, gets caught by both Pebbles and Ravener. You saw the tablet attempt. I think he misclicked right there. He's definitely trying to tablet his teammate, but it probably wouldn't have mattered in the end, as that was just too much intense damage up front. So, good catch with the portal keys, and clearly
I'd like to see him go. Yeah, sorry. I would like to see him go for a Kongor, like right now. Just rush Kongor S5 after they kill Moraxis. They have a really good Kongor team. But Ravener's gonna port to mid lane, and they're gonna catch the catapult.
Yeah, they're trying. They're gonna chase it at least. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. He's gonna time it, I guess. But do they have? Yeah, he has a hatchet. You're right. Okay, there we go. There's the jump, and yep, Parasite is gonna fall. So took them a long time, but they do get it. Now Predator actually top lane. No, they don't have a way to stop that. Okay. Good combo there, obviously, with the Stonehide porting out. Unless, do they have anything? Yeah, I guess Skeleton Kings, really, would be it.
Those games are so good where you have like a Magic Moon spell, and you're like you can do whatever you want. Like Predator can farm wherever he wants. He can use W, pour out. There's no way for him to stop him. That's also why Swiftblade is so good. He can go wherever he wants and use like spin TP if he's in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, the likelihood of a Skeleton King Ophelia being nearby is pretty limited. So, yeah, that's definitely a good factor for him. Okay, so now he actually buys another Mighty Blade, though. So obviously he already has the Brutalizer now. So now will this be the Shrunken Head? Is the question here.
That feels like a Dawnbringer. but mid lane.
All right, middle lane. We do see a jump on a Pebbles right here. Look at that Stonehide, though. It's obviously so powerful. It's stalagmites and didn't do a damn thing. And down goes Mickey there. So good jump on him. Sure, they lost the top tower, but that's the last thing they're really worried about.
He was sent home, though. Did they burst him in time, or did they...
They just killed him in time.
Yeah, okay. That was a lot of damage from Predator, then.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's, well, I mean, the sent home, it's still, even at max, it's still 4 seconds, so you have a bit of a window there to take him out and kill him pretty quickly. Parasite, oh, never mind. He was actually running into Ophelia. Look at Ophelia's locking him down, saying, don't infest my creeps, you might need to kill one if he tries. So he can't do it in time. And he takes over the Skeleton King. So gets Ophelia to pour it out. They're gonna kill the minions, though, at least. So gonna force Slap to head back into the jungle and pick up some more creeps right here, unfortunately. Good play there, though.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, too. The Aquaspell, didn't even think about that, but Ophelia, it's a solid, it's just like a soft counter to her. I mean, killing one of those creeps instantly in a fight is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, especially if you have 1 or 2 Skeleton Kings, and you get to Alchemist Bones, one of them. Really big.
Yeah.
Big.
And, of course, having the Parasite on top of that. So I guess, we're talking about all the success once again of Ophelia and Slap, but they have ways to deal with it, that's for sure, with Parasite.
This is a really hard Ophelia game, especially when they looks like they're going late game. Mm-hmm. Ophelia late game is not, it's a bit awkward, so to speak.
And part of me almost wonders, we were kind of looking at the Predator pick a little bit and thinking against Ravener may not be, very good, but in general, Stonehide is a good ability to have in this game. But I wonder if that went through their mind that, he's an Alchemist Bone candidate hero that likely would get one, and obviously that's good against Ophelia, as we're pointing out here. So maybe that was a little bit of the logic, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Nope.
Middle lane, look at this again. It's like we just saw this deja vu style right here. Ophelia's coming and trying to save the day. Protect him. Melody will save the day and keeps him alive for the time being, but he's running this whole time. Matrax explodes, though, gets the kill. Here comes Ravener, however, at least gets the turn kill on a Moraxis, so it is a 1-for-1 because it took so damn long, but look at Predator. He's hungry. Oh, he couldn't get close enough, though. Magus Eruption? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't show it, at least.
Oh. They were thinking about going back in, but they did not.
Yeah. Proved to be the right decision for Fresh right there. They would have been right into a big eruption, but they fall back.
That protected mallet saved the day there.
Mm-hmm.
There would have been a pick-off on Pebbles, and they would have gotten out, but I think Ravener got the kill. Yeah, Ravener got the kill. So Ravener is he's getting back into this game. He's not been out of the game, but he's catching up to Predator, at least. Yeah,
again, we really haven't focused a lot on Keizu here this game, but he did go the Shrunken Head to follow up that portal key, and I don't know. What do you think about the Shrunken Head this game? Do you think it actually warranted to get a Shrunken Head as soon as possible here on Ravener?
He needs it, but Shrunken Head this early on your hard carries, your hard carry is not something you wanna go. He don't have a lot of damage. I mean, of course he has a lot of damage from his ultimate, but he doesn't have good attack speed or split farm or anything. So that he lacks a bit of farming and attack speed.
Yeah. No, yeah, the damage enhancement is it's not like where it can be and where you probably would like it to be, but then there's the obvious that sure it will mitigate things like the transmute from Midas and what, but Predator's like, I don't care about your Shrunken Head. It literally doesn't matter to me. So. And he's a good source of their damage, at least throughout the fight, coming up here for Min. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those tough spots to be in if you are Keizu on the Ravener, but He did pick it up, so we'll see how that works out for him. But you see, I mean, the GPM, he is keeping it up. I will give him that. He's continuing to be around 500 gold per minute as this game moves on. So, going to see another bigger item on him very shortly. And could he still get the Thunderclaw, you think, or is it at a point where it's like that's more of a farming item? You should have gotten it earlier. Should he go something else here?
No, I think it's fine here. But he keeps the stacks from killing Kongor with Charge Hammer as well, and yeah, Thunderclaw farms. Oh, what's happening mid?
Well, they jumped initially. I think the Hellborn team jumped right here, if I'm not mistaken, but actually Ice Gogo trying to run away. He invested the last second, unfortunately. It was too close to them, and he ends up going down. Magnus stuns in, but here's Predator once again. Hoping for a first hit Brutalizer proc. He still hasn't Stonehide yet. There we go. He's going to use it. It's Brutalizer proc right there. But Probus insisting on running this whole time. He's not interested. We're Haxerin. Got to really question going back then in the first place. So the communication does seem a little off here from Fresh, and now they catch Probus after the side. He pops the shrunken head that he got. Man, okay, yeah, he's going to run here. I mean, at that point, again, 2 teammates down, it makes sense. But he was the communication was definitely off there from Fresh.
Yeah. They're like 50-50. Half of the team wanted to go in, half of them wanted to run.
Yeah. That's never a good thing.
Nope.
As we see there, so easy tower kill as a result of all of that.
Yeah, they're kind of giving the game to Sync here, honestly. They're not doing the right plays. Mint that is.
Yeah.
It's a hard game to play, but I think they just need to pick the right team fights. They're already going for like funky pickoffs and get turned on and then they die. I think honestly if they just go like mid now, push a tower, they're gonna win that team fight with Predator in the front. They have Moira to save him with and they have Puzzle level 3. I can't see them losing a team fight. I think they're just scared of fighting against Sync.
Yeah. No, they want to catch somebody here. Looks like Ophelia. He's asking them kindly not to kill him. Moraxis has the portal key coming in 1 second. It is going to be out of range. Eruption. Matthias is going to go in here, but yeah, he was hoping a lot more would have happened. They were definitely trying to bait them into that. That's very obvious now. But it did not work in the end. So
Predator DD Kongor.
oh jeez, yeah, that should be a quick kill. By the time they realize it's happening, it's going to be dead probably.
He's a bit squishy though. I want to see him pick up a Demonic.
Yeah.
That would be a really good pickup. Then he has like magic, he has like 10, how long? Like 9 plus.
Well, I'm
5.
a little curious there too. He actually, unless I'm mistaken, maybe he just turned it off, but he didn't have his Insanitarius on in the later part of that Kongor attempt there,
Nope.
so I would think you would want that on. I mean, I understand it drains life, but also enhances your damage quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's gonna fall back from Kongor though. So
Yeah, he just needs some armor and then he's gonna be like unkillable. I think Demonic into Heart would be a really good build here.
Yeah.
He has like 14 seconds of magical, what's called magical?
The Stonehide, yeah.
Immunity, exactly.
They are missing out on the Abyssal Skull. They definitely will say that. I mean, Parasite has the Ring of the Teacher, so might be going the Abyssal Skull, but yeah, they could really use that here sooner than later.
I'm a bit surprised that Sync is not fighting here though.
There we go.
Now they're gonna get Kongor. They should fight there right now, Mint.
They're trying. Well, you see Moro's like, I got them. I mean, he has an Arcane Vortex.
What?
They're not going to go for it, though. Okay, there we go. He catches Pebbles. Are they actually committing or not? Magnus stuns in. He kind of catches them as they're trying to follow up, and Magnus now in trouble himself, so he might end up falling right here. But I got to say, I mean, he definitely may have saved more.
Yeah, that was well played from Omi, but I don't know. That's like dream scenario. You kill Kongor, you have vision of your opponent, and you have a token, and you had a perfect Mori ulti. I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels like Mint is super scared of fighting here. I'm not sure why.
Bottom tower kill, but yeah, Probus does have a tendency to be a little bit more over one of those passive carries, and kind of feeling that here throughout this game is very safe to say. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's a little bit of it. And he just wants to wait till he is actually very comfortable with his farm, I guess. But, yeah, it did seem like that was a prime spot. But they didn't necessarily take it. They did get 1 kill at least. They do have the token, though. So, obviously, the big picture, it's still overall pretty good for Fresh right here. But still, they could have had more, it does feel like. But the token has another 330 remaining on here, so still has a bit here. Puzzle Box level 3, I believe, is just finished on Parasite. Probus does have 3,300 gold saved up. So you mentioned the Soul's Bulwark and especially the Demonic Breastplate in full. It would be a good pickup here. We'll see if he agrees or not, but
I'm surprised over Kiesu, though. He's going to buy a Wingbow, it looks like.
Whoa. Okay. Huh. Yeah, Predator is one of those funky heroes to go up against, too. Something like a Behemoth or a Frostal Skull I know can actually be decent on Ravener, but the more life you have, obviously, the more Predator does to you. So
that's a good point.
You want to stay away from that. That's where you can ideally stack armor, but maybe that doesn't make sense for Ravener. And yeah, so I mean, the Wingbow to me kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that part, that the more health Ravener gets, the more efficient the Predator gets from it. So that's a really good point.
But now I wonder, so Probusk hasn't bought anything yet, and maybe he was waiting for this, too, to see what Ravener would get. So I wonder if
he's probably going to buy a Savage now.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
And well, see, that's the problem, though, with what I think going the Wingbow at the same time. It's like he did it at a point where Probusk is sitting on a lot of gold right now, and he's thinking about what his next item's going to be, and that just made it a very easy choice. So it's going to be like a direct counter now to the Wingbow, getting the Savage Mace. And Wingbow on Ravener, it's not like he's obviously not agility, so it's not going to really enhance his damage like it would on agility carries. So
no. That's the thing with Ravener, though. He doesn't really need to get base damage because all of his damage is from his ultimate and superior magic, so he only needs survivability and attack speed, and that's what he's getting here.
Yeah. A lot of patient play, though, coming out right now after just an insane action-packed game in the first 10-15 minutes, but that's definitely slowing down as games tend to do. How about Teltuk, by the way, has a Storm Spirit. Managed to farm one of those.
Yeah. It's a bit... I would rather see a PK, because he can PK ultimate in every team fight then. It's like a Urasaya, you sit back and then you peek in and save someone. And he can't really do that with the Storm Spirit, he needs to be close to save people. And yeah. But yeah, you always want team fight items, so it's not a bad pickup, but I think a PK would have been better.
Yeah. So, mentioned, item pickups that maybe expecting in the Abyssal Skull on Parasite, I still think would be very valuable here to have. And
yep. He hasn't been farming anything, though. It feels like he had a Ring of the Teacher and 500 gold for 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
They're only giving farm to Predator, and that's, I guess, the bad part with having a melee carry.
Yeah.
Or a carry who doesn't have flight as a clanks. Because he needs to take top lane, mid lane, and also their jungle, and neither Sibbe or who's playing Meraxus? Haxran is split pushing anything. I would like to see they have heroes hiding bottom lane. Omi is really good at this, and actually Sync is gonna smoke up now. The 5-man smoke.
Yeah, they're at the observatory. They're double damage for Pebbles as well. Or he's gonna hand it off to Ravener even. So this is a big potential play right here from X-Sync coming out. The Token of Life also just wore off on Predator. So yeah, by the way, they didn't even really use that. I mean, that's another thing that kind of seeing here. But they're going top lane. This could be big. Predator, if they catch him, they're gonna go for it. Can he get any kind of magic immunity off? He's going to get chucked, and he's still locked down. He finally gets it off, and he has to fight. He right-clicks. He's going for Pebbles. He changes target to Ravener. That Wingbow's kicking in, though, and down goes Predator. He has 5,000 gold, by the way. He can buy back, but Willie's the question. Pebbles, he's chasing more, as is X-Sync as a team. They are going to catch Parasite, so no buyback's going to be happening. Ends up being 2 for 1. Rhapsody was killed, but X-Sync, that ended up working out beautifully for them.
That was really well played from Sync, but this is what I said, though. The only way they lose is if they get jumped. Get jumped, and that's exactly what happened. If you just pay attention to the minimap, those kind of pickups don't happen. This is a really obvious late game thing to do as well. You fireman smoke somewhere and just go YOLO.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did. It doesn't really pay off that often, but here it definitely did.
And I'm pretty sure Predator was like just about to buy a Savage Mace straight up, but he died just before that. So again, he's sitting on 5,000 gold. He's still not buying back. His team's jumping in, and Moraxis is gonna, well, Arcane Vortex will stall it at least. There's the buyback finally happening. Predator is now porting in, and now X-Sync. They're gonna try to get out of here. They will kill Ravener though. The leap, oh, he used it early onto Ravener, who died anyways, and now the chase continues though. Slapped off to the side. Oh, Matthias coming back in with an eruption. Man, getting one kill they will, but at what cost there? Look at that leap. Seemed like 10, or a lot of distance. Anyways, Magnus goes down there, and he will end up falling as a result. Ophelia might actually live right here. As, oh, no, she's going to go for the TP, realizing maybe go for the turn onto Zibe. It's a Pebbles, but he couldn't Stalagmite in time. It ends up falling right there. However, Midas will eventually go down when it's all said and done. So, well, another crazy fight here. Hacks did buyback as well, by the way.
Yeah, you can feel like things are off in Mint's Skype call. It's like they go on him 5 seconds later when they're out of the lockdown, he buys back.
Oh, he bought
yeah.
that, okay.
Yeah, Mirax bought back mid-team fight. But, yep, like not gonna lie, the Predator is not doing anything this entire game. It's not on Proba's fault, but the hero, it's so hard for him to like focus down heroes. They have Storm Spirits, Rhapsody Ultimates, they can use Kaide Shrunkens, and that's exactly what they're doing.
I mean, ideally he will have a Savage Mace going into the next fight, but I mean, as we saw that last fight, I mean, he took a lot of damage initially, and he was able to stand his ground finally, but it just, ended up dying shortly after. You mentioned a lot of the Storm Spirits, the heals that they have, the potential melodies, just a lot of support utility, and X-Sync really on top of that, so it is making life difficult for Predator, at least so far, but, Savage Mace should ideally change some things, and as there we go, it is now being delivered. But the other thing, too, you figure, it feels to me at least, that Fresh is getting to a point where in a 5 versus 5 fight, if they clash from the beginning, going into one another, because that situation, Predator just simply got jumped, and this team had to react to it, whereas if they grew up above 5 and go, I feel like that they should actually be potentially pretty good in a 5 versus 5 fight now.
I'm glad that you can see that, but Mint cannot. But yeah, the only way that they not sure what happened either. They're not gonna go. But the way Mint won the team fight is Predator leaps in, and they use lockdown like Hellborn team. Midas combo, Moira stun, Miraxus stun. Like, they have the lockdown, but they're not doing it right. And they don't really have one of those heroes who, like a Magnus, he can use PK stun. Miraxus can obviously do that, but if you're fast enough, you can like pop your Shrunken. It's not difficult. So, but then they have Moira on the other end, so I don't know what they're like afraid of, because that's the only way they lose a team fight is if Miraxus jumps in and they pop Shrunkens and they can't lock them down and they get turned on.
Yeah.
But they have like Moira ulti, Moira stun, so I don't know. They have the lockdown, but they're not. Yep, they're not fighting at all.
No, they're not. And Ravener is getting him more time to get bigger and better farm, as actually buys a Searing Light here. Interesting. Going to be going for a full Dawnbringer eventually, I'm sure, but getting the Searing Light choice first, helping enhance a little bit more damage perhaps, and potential there. Oh, look at this. Veiled Raw Predator. Double damage Renata, by the way. I mean, if there's not time to fight, if any, it's now. If you're the Hellborn team. Oh, boy.
Ooh, they're going Ancients.
Yep. This could be big. Stomp. It missed initially, but it might not matter. Ravener is forced to fight, but he does not have any team support nearby. In jumps Predator. There's a Savage Mace doing work. And you look at Ravener just melt away. Look at the Moira Arcane Vortex as well, catching the support. And he just bought that Searing Light, remember. So he does not have a buyback currently. Ophelia is going to be picked off as well. As there we go. This could be a huge opportunity now. Now, will they push in or go for Kongor? They seem a little unsure. Okay, they are pushing, it looks like.
They should definitely. Did you see how fast Ravenor melted? And that was without Insanitarius. He didn't, like, he toggled, like, on and off.
Why are
He
they
like
not pushing?
panicked. I don't know.
Okay, maybe he's waiting for the creep wave, I guess. Okay,
Yes,
I guess that
Probot
makes
wants to
sense.
farm some more. I don't know.
What?
No buyback. They should at least, even if they had the buyback, they should force the buyback.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I don't even know if they really need the creep wave, to be honest. I mean, I think that's just how far ahead they were right there. But they, playing it very safe for sure as he gets chucked in right there. So maybe that was a little bit wrong. Predator's dropping. He is going to live, though. And look at the turn now coming out. Rhapsody goes down. Ravener obviously staying dead. And they realize that now. He definitely would have bought back if he had it in there. Now Magnus stuns in. Predator is getting fairly low, actually. Magnus, though, he can only do so much damage. He goes down. Gets the shark and head pop. Can they kill the Rax is the question. Ravener's up in 5. They're going to fall back.
Yeah, they should not. They should back in right now.
Okay. Not worth it, they say. Pebbles, though, he goes in, he catches somebody. It's a little bit late of a fallback, and now here comes Ravener. Predator jumps back in at about half-life currently. He wants that kill on a Ravener, though. Savage Mace, will it be enough? No, it will not. Down goes Predator, but Ravener does die in the end, so you can say it actually does work out for Mint. They also kill Pebbles, and now they're breaking through big time. Ravener is staying dead. Predator could buy back if he really wanted to, but, man, they're not committing to the Rax. Okay, Pebbles did buy back, so that will be enough to fall back, apparently.
Still think they can go for X here. But I don't know, they choose to play it safe, which is always good. But yep, that was really poorly from Omi though. When he stunned in there, Mickey didn't have his stun up, so he couldn't save Omi, and then he instantly died. And they need the Magnus, like they need the ulti and his stun in order to win team fights.
Yeah, I don't feel like not to call him out further, but obviously we praise him plenty. But we haven't really had much big eruptions this game, that's for sure. Maybe one that I recall that has happened. So they definitely need big initiation essentially from him to have a chance of holding right here. These fights.
When you have carries like Predator and Ravener, who it's only like, they focus one guy down. You need the Pebbles combo and also the Magnus ulti. Like, they have no damage on, like, AoE damage on Legion except for the Magnus ulti. Like, Hellborn, they have, like, Miraculous stun and can hit multiple targets, Midas combo, Moira stun, and they don't have a hero like Clanks who can just, hit, like, 5 heroes at once with his ultimate and Thunderclaw. So, Omi's ultimates are really crucial this game.
It does feel a little weird that as big as that catch was at the Ancients on a Ravener with no buyback, and hell, they even actually killed him again after he ended up resurrecting, that they were not even able to get the Rax. I mean, I just find that a little surprising, but they did get the tower. They did soften up the Rax, at least for now. And obviously they know for the time being, at least, Ravener still would not have a buyback, so if they want to maybe try to make a play right away.
They had the Rax though, but as you mentioned and as we mentioned, they went to farm the hard camp. It took them like 40 seconds to reach base from Legion's Ancients, so yep, it's a bit slow on the calls here.
Well, Kongor is up, and wouldn't be surprised if that's obviously a point of interest here, especially for Fresh coming out. You do see Sheepstick is finished on Zebe, by the way. I think he did just get that, so didn't have it in the last fight. And that will clearly play a big role, as it always does. And there we go with the Abyssal Skull as well, and then the Soul's Bulwark on top of that for Parasite. So, yeah, some pretty key items coming out here now for Fresh. Did he just revive Steam Ooze or something? That was weird. Anyways, build Romp bottom lane. We're trying to make a play down here. Miraxis has a double damage ring bottled up, actually.
They know this is happening, though. Yep.
They're doing this without Predator, too, so it is a little scary for them as they're going to jump in onto Ophelia. Oh, he's post-tasting in. That's why. That's what that was about. On top of the puzzle box. Beautiful coordination right there from Fresh. And look at X-Sync. They just melt away. Ravener, by the time he's here, it's obviously way too late. And he just turns around. Down goes Rhapsody. So that was the plan all along.
And that's what happens if they get the jump.
Yeah. I was definitely worried for them initially, not gonna lie, but the buyback in a post haste was pretty clever.
Yeah, I think it kind of felt like Sync knew that a gank was happening, and those smoke ganks, as I said, are kind of obvious if you just pay attention to the minimap. Because they sent in Ophelia. Ophelia is kind of like a Tempest with a shrunken head. It's not going to get a big ultimate off, and it's not going to do anything to the team fight. So you're like, yeah, go run, slap, run, suicide mission, and that's what he did and died. But yep, I don't know.
And now they get the racks with these. So this time they feel very comfortable doing so, and they were right on that. So easy racks killed, and you got now a Storm Spirit on Meraxis. We already talked about how bigger items were picked up going into that last exchange, and now even more are going to be happening. On the other side of the spectrum for X-Sync, I mean, nothing really standing out. Pebbles hasn't necessarily been able to get any kind of groove going as far as farm. I mean, he's all right here. He's obviously over 300 GPM and has a Soul's Bulwark at least, but you would hope by now he'd be even, like a full demonic and possibly more to be a little bit more of a physical threat perhaps throughout these fights. As we're now into the later game stage just about, so. Not there, though, and look at that. Congo's dead, Token of Life, and now here we go with Meraxis. Can't get the jump, though. The Moira, she portal keys actually. She will find somebody, but she did not react in time. Well, Mickey did, so well played there. Actually, it's not over yet. What am I saying? You see the puzzle box Mauler chasing. Yeah, gonna find Ophelia. And it's just a matter of time before he goes down. Rhapsody's like, oh, well, I'm gonna hide here.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. They tried to go for the Congo fight, but the second Congo dies, they got jumped instead. So that was another dream scenario for Mint, but they're not getting the catch. They're not catching at all. They're like, I don't know, they're so scared. It feels like they're so scared of committing this game.
It really does. But to be fair, exactly. They are now up 20,000 gold and 24,000 experience, so to their credit, they are winning the game against X-Sync, so. And that is the ultimate goal. It might be a little frustrating for us at times, but they are winning the game at the end. In fact, Mana Sunder on to Raven in the background, gonna harass him a little bit. As Rhapsody, they eventually found that she was there. And she goes down as well.
Support.
Yeah, I think they might have been trying for that, but didn't work out in the end. Didn't get there in time, unfortunately.
It's going to be another pair of racks, though. Or not.
Oh,
Max goes in.
That was a failed initiation. Does get a save initially, but he's going to be very low coming out of this, although now Predator's there. Look at that Storm Spirit. They're keeping him alive. They're making a point that if you want to kill him, you're going to have to commit a lot, and actually he will stay alive with the Matrax in the background. In fact, he goes back in, and he actually even gets the kill on a Mickey. That's adding insult to injury right there. So, that should just about do it, though. They're going to now be down 2 sets of racks right here. Predator's just going to laugh at them, basically, as he ports out right in front of them. And, nice Mana Sunder TP. Is that going to work? Yes, it is. Serenia, well played. And they get away, so. X-Sync, it's the steam. They just don't have enough here, clearly. It's definitely ran out, it feels like. And it's not even that Ravener's ran out of buyback. I mean, he still even has 2 of his buybacks here, but he's been caught at the right times, and they haven't been able to defend here, ultimately.
You can't really do that much either when Predator pops his Shrunken and just right-clicks him down. You just, can't do anything, honestly. It's just a bad Ravener game, or bad late game, so to speak. Yeah. As I mentioned in drafting, I said that Think needs to do this early game, mid game, but late game, Ravener is a decent late game hero, but they're Predator is a lot better in my opinion, at least.
Oh yeah.
Which has 7k gold, by the way, so gonna see what he buys here.
Yeah, that's true too. I had to double check that. The Terror now also does. It works for with the attack speed and the movement speed for teammates as well. It puts the debuff on the person, and then if they attack them, they also get that too. So kind of a minor thing there, but forgot that change happened a while back. Wingbow, I think. Yeah, he just purchased a Wingbow on Predator, by the way.
Predator? Okay.
Yeah. That's an odd pickup, I think. A bit. I feel like...
But
okay, well...
The thing is that Ravener, he has 2,300 health right now, which is really squishy. And this forces him to buy a Savage Mace. It's gonna be even the same amount of health, so...
Yeah.
It's decent, but I don't think it matters what he buys. The game is pretty much over.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. He really could buy anything, but maybe a Doombringer would be a little risky. But yeah, he could buy pretty much anything and be still pretty fine here. I mean, for me, it seems like maybe like a Behemoth's Heart would have been pretty powerful here, and that seems like it's a very good late game item on him. But
Yep.
like you make up a good point though about Ravener, and good against the auto text there. So he's only 3,000 gold saved up himself on Ravener. Speaking of that, and you can guarantee he wants at least to save up for one of those buybacks. So yeah, he's really far off of Savage Mace. Still at this point, and having to play very defensive here in the base. So Fresh is going to continue to now go for the top lane here, as that's the only pair of racks that is left, of course. And so X-Sync, they'll basically have a last stand here. See if they can make anything happen.
The safe way for Mint to finish the game is probably wait for Congo, but can imagine them being a bit bored of farming.
No, that wouldn't be that.
Actually, they
Okay.
killed Sibba.
Yeah, Midas got it picked out to the side. And actually, Mora's going to fall here as well. So apparently, maybe it wasn't the best decision to push right there. At least be spread out as much as they were. So Midas and Mora dead. You see, and actually could be Mora. Nice job with the Arcane Shield right there. But Moraxis, he's still being heavily chased down. You see Ravener keeping up the 100 charges right here. So he's running pretty damn fast. Well, he's running haste speed, essentially. But nice Storm Spirit right there. And the chase will continue, though. Parasite, yep, he is going to get caught. And he goes down there. So bottom lane, though, in the meantime, look at that, Predator. He's like, guys, now you have to defend your base. Good luck with that. They can't, none of them have TPs. That's brutal. Ah, well, he didn't get much, I guess. But he forces them to fall back, at least.
Yes, but there is prolonging the game.
Yeah. They're going to keep it going for the time being. As Predator now 32 more 100 gold saved up here. Just about something, I guess, but obviously he's really essentially 6 slotted here. Could sell probably the Insanitarius maybe at this point and get that Behemoth's Heart. I think that could make sense, but maybe rebuy Shrunken Head, of course, is always useful. He has 5 seconds on that currently, so also another valid option. As God, I feel like Predator has double damage a lot of these fights. He has another one right here.
Yep.
He jumps on a Ravener, and look at that. That's the main carry at 52 minutes into the game. Just melts to Predator right there. Pebbles goes down. And once again, Ravener doesn't have buyback. He pulls these and runs away. I think that's a sign of X-Sync knows it's over. And they're not conceding, though, yet, so maybe some different opinions, perhaps, but yeah, if you're fresh here, just go. There you go. Yeah, they were talking it over. It looks like, but in the end, it is a victory for Fresh. So yeah, I mean the game definitely a very long finish there. It seemed like that perhaps could have been over there for a bit, but it's obviously up to Sync for that decision, and they tried to persevere, but clearly it just came to a point where Predator especially was too big. And they couldn't do much
It's
about
good
that,
practice as well. A lot of teams CC when they feel like the game is over, but it's always good to practice playing from behind.
We've